Warm greetings to everyone. This is Suhasini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from RMDEC Engineering College. In this video lecture, I'm going to discuss about the subject database management system, and the topic is extended ER model. So in the extended ER model, we have already seen about what is ER model and everything. Now moving on to the how to next level of representing the ER model with some set of extended features. So what are the extended features of ER model is specialization, generalization, attribute inheritance, aggregation. So first starting with specialization, the word itself says that you are specialized. So when you take for example, we have a doctor. At a doctor, we have a general doctor also, and we have a specialist, which means he's a specialist of in that particular thing than the other thing. If I say he's a cardiologist, he is a best specialist, then he can handle all the heart diseases. Instead, he will not, he'll have some less experience in ENT field and dental field, everything, right? So that's those. But the common thing of ENT specialist and the dentist and the cardiologist or the gynecologist and or the neurologist. So everything, the common part is a doctor. A doctor is specialized in these things. So it's the same meaning here also. We have some entity, and that entity will be specialized in what? Okay. So it follows it is a top-down design process. So next is, see here. So I have an account, that is an entity. Okay. So now this is the top-down. No, we have to start from top. So when you have an account, then you have what are the specialization in that. So the account is a general thing, right? So in the account we have two different specialization. One is the savings account and the current account. So we say that this is the account is specialized with savings account and current account, and each entity will have their different entities, I mean the attributes as well. Okay, so for the for the extended ER model, the specialization, the symbol will be downwards triangle symbol. Okay, so that you have to note it down. And we say now you have to know the other two terms is, one is the higher level entity and the lower level entity. So starting from here, no, so the account will be your higher level of entity, and your savings account and current account will be your lower level entity. So this is an example for specialization. Now moving on to the generalization. So there is exact opposite of the specialization. So starting from a child. A child is who is a parent, who is a grandparent, who is their grandparent. So now from the bottom to up, we are going to map it. No, in that case of process, that comes under generalization. So we say this approach as bottom up design process. So see the example here. We'll start from investigating from the instructor. So the instructor is linked as an employee of the employee is first a person actually. So now moving on from the down to up. Okay, from the bottom to up, this is called generalization. The exact opposite of the specialization. So next is, we have some constraints also. So determine which entities can be the member of a given lower level entity. So which entity is a member of lower level entity, which means we have some set of entities now, which belongs to the low level entity, because it starts from the lower level entity, from the bottom to up. So from the lower level to the higher level, it is moving on. So which is the entity part of lower level entity. So that you have to check. So next is to determine whether or not entities may belong to more than one lower level entity. Whether you have only one lower entity or multiple entities, you have to map your given entities also with the help of disjoint and overlapping concept. So next is moving on to their third one is completeness constraint on generalization or specialization. So already we have seen about this total generalization, partial generalization, that each higher level entity must belong to a lower level entity. That is a total generalization. Partial is may or may not. They may belong to lower level entity, or they may not belong to the lower level entity. So in this case, we'll say that is may or may not. So next is attribute inheritance. So attribute inheritance is nothing but you are inheriting some entities from the higher entities to the lower entities, or to the lower entity to the higher entities. How do you inherit from the specialization and the generalization, that is from the higher entity to the lower entity, or to the lower entity to the higher entity? How you are retrieving your your entities? That comes under attribute inheritance. Aggregation is nothing but you're just creating an abstraction with the help of relationship. How do you connect two different relationships, okay, with the help of the entities? So that is aggregations. We'll see the example. So now, previously would have seen that we have entities, we have different types of entities, and that entities will be connected with the help of the relationship. Now can you see that there is an entity to there is a relationship is connecting to the another relationship? So I have an instructor as an entity, student as an entity, project as an entity, evaluation is an entity. So instructor student is having a project guide as relationship, and project is also getting related with your uh, project entity is also getting related with your project guide, right? So similarly, your evaluation should be linked with the help of some relationship, right? So that is eval for, okay. So now two different relation is being joined. This is happens when the help of the aggregation process. Another example is also there. So can you see that employee is there, branch is there, employee works on the branch, and you have another entity that an employee can also be a manager, and the employee is also working in the branch. So now the manager is having some relationship with that, right? So that also you have to connect it. So now see again the two different relation is being linked together, and this process is called aggregation. Okay. So with this I'll stop. Thank you.